So now we need to figure out the spacing. Well, luckily the Lightning design system has something that's called a grid system. So if we do grid, and that will let us easily kind of define two columns using this pattern. So let's copy that, and let's go over here. Let's just paste that in. Fix our indentation, and let's grab this first part. We want this on the left side of the grid. Oops. Fix our indentation, and then on the other side, the second column, we want our task button. Now, if you notice, if this were all in a component, let's say this was just an input component, that would be much easier to read. So that's part of the advantage of having multiple components. At this point, we don't really have the need to make it into a separate component, so we're not going to do that yet. But it is a very likely refactor in the future. So anyway, let me Control Z. All right, so we have a form element in a separate column as our create task button. So let's update this. Cool, so they're displaying side by side, but they're still not very, the spacing's kind of funky. So let's go back to our grid system, and let's do vertical align center. So we have this SLDS grid, SLDS-grid vertical-align center. So let's go take a look. We already have the SLDS grid. So let's take this vertical align center. And let's try that out. Update our preview. Okay, so that's still not that much better, but let's right click and inspect just to see what's going on with the components. Okay. So if we take a look, there's our grid and there's the two grids. Okay. The label is adding extra space, extra height compared to the other one we have. So what we could do is we could add some, well, first off, we could set this to the same height. And if we did, we take a look at that, we could play with that until we got the right height, but that's not very responsive. So what we'll do is we'll use another thing in the Lightning design system, and that's you can actually add padding with classes, padding and margins with classes. So let's first add margin. Let's do medium. We'll start with there, and we'll do it around. So we want .slds around medium. So there we go, right there. Let's grab that whole div actually. So let's go back to our developer console, and let's add that right here. Let's cut that. Save. Let's take a look. Okay, and if you see, that's more centered. Like there's some space around the border of the components, and we inspect that, we'll be able to see that with more clarity. There we go. See the margin that was automatically added? Okay, so now we want to get the create task to have a similar margin. we go to our developer console and we want this line, and let's wrap that to do create task in there. Save that and refresh. Okay, so now this should have a margin around it as well. Perfect, it does, but it still is not matching up as great as the other one. What we can do is let's add some padding in here, right in here, so we can get that even out. So what we can do is search for padding. Right now we're on top, so let's just start out with top medium to see where that puts us. We can actually just add the class into that div. Let's save that and then go back to our app and refresh. Perfect. So that's actually pretty good. It's not perfect. So let's try. Let's just try this top large. No, we're pretty good right there. We're a little bit lower, but that's good enough for now. If you want to get pixel perfect, we're probably off a little bit, but overall that's pretty good. So let's use that.